say like wait a second. Hey, that was a good one, Shakur. There you go. It's back at you. On my bottom.
Hey guys, it was good. Triple J Boxing. So recently, Terence Crawford met up with Shakur Stevenson and had a lot of good rounds of sparring. Now, he tweeted, "You're not going to believe how many rounds we did if I told you." But then Shakur tweeted, "We did 11 rounds." So that is quite a bit, though. That definitely is quite a bit for sparring. Especially two high-level guys like them. I think he meant 11 between him and Crawford. I could be wrong because there was other people, obviously, in the gym as well. But Terence Crawford made it sound like they sparred like 30 rounds. But still, like I said, 11 rounds is pretty hard to do, especially when you're sparring somebody on the level of these guys. Like, both of these guys have to really kick it into high gear, into the, like, you know what I mean, into the sixth gear to really keep up, you know what I mean? So, yeah, it's good to see big bro, little bro, kind of in a sense, working together. Shakur really does look up to Terence Crawford, which I like to. It's good to see something like that. It's always refreshing to see. I don't know. I like when I see that kind of stuff. He really looks up to him, and definitely a good influence on his life and on his boxing training as well. To have the best fighter in the world helping you out and sparring with you, seeing how you're doing, calling you up, training with you. Obviously, you would assume Terence Crawford's still many steps ahead of Shakur, even in it's just sparring, but for a guy like Shakur who has a really big ego, and you can kind of tell, right? The fact that he really looks up to Terence Crawford really says something, and he really respects him. So that's how good Terence Crawford really is, that a guy with an ego of Shakur won't even talk shit, you know what I mean? So, yeah, let me know what you guys think about the sparring they're doing. I think it's a huge benefit to Shakur Stevenson, because other guys like Tank, Ryan, Devin, like, they're not getting this kind of sparring. Now, not to say that Terence Crawford wouldn't take them up on their offer if they called him up for the sparring, but I really, Terence Crawford does seem like that kind of guy that would want to spar with anybody, and he would want to see how, like, because he's such a competitive guy, maybe he would spar with them as well. But it's a little bit different, because with Shakur, they're such good friends, he can just call them up and they can just spar at any time they want. And he actually wants to, like, help him out, right? Whereas those other guys, maybe he would be thinking down the line, I might fight them. And it wouldn't be as, like, not as friendly, right? It'd be more competitive. So Shakur Stevenson definitely has an edge when it comes to having Terence Crawford as a training partner. That's a really big advantage. Obviously, his last performance against Edwin De Los Santos, it wasn't good, but he still won the fight, in my opinion. And he said he had a hand injury, and no one wants to hear that, I know. No one wants to hear excuses. But I kind of do believe Shakur when he says he had a hand injury, because if you actually look at the fight, he wasn't throwing, I think it was his power hand, right? It was his left hand. I remember he wasn't throwing his power shots at all. Like, he wasn't throwing the straight left. He was just using his jab and his right arm mostly, I remember, throughout the fight. So that signals to me that his left hand was hurt, and that's not bullshit. But people are going to say that Edwin De Los Santos was dangerous and he was afraid. People are just going to say that, the haters, right? But not just the haters, but the people that are uneducated. Like, just go back and watch the fight. You can see he's not throwing that punch that much because it's hurt. I know some people will say, oh, yeah, he doesn't want to sit down on his shots. He doesn't want to throw the power hand because it leaves you more open, which is true. When you throw the backhand, you are more open. But I do believe, looking at all his other fights, that especially like Oscar Valdez was a powerful puncher, and look what he did there, right? So I feel like I believe him when his hand was injured. Now, when it comes to Gervonta Davis, watch, I'm going to get hate for this, but I don't care. Now, I haven't looked into the behind the scenes or whatever, the articles. Anyone can say whatever they want, though, to be honest. But from the eye test, when I seen Gervonta fighting, and you'll know what I'm talking about, when he fought Pitbull Cruz, everyone was saying, like all Tank supporters were saying, oh, his hand was hurt. That's why he had a tough time with Cruz. But if you actually watch that whole fight, Tank is throwing both his hands. Like, he's throwing jabs, he's throwing straight lefts, hooks. Like, he's throwing his whole repertoire of punches with both arms. So unless he was just fighting through it and he was going through pain, or it really wasn't that bad to begin with, or he was just saying that, right? Because, like, if your hand's that badly injured, how will you be able to throw it like that? Unless maybe was it in Vegas and you're allowed to inject your hands with that numbing agent that Mayweather used to do. It's only legal in Vegas. I forget, was that fight in Vegas? Unless he did that, I don't really know. But in this case, Shakur, he wasn't throwing the punch, so that leads me to believe it was hurt. He's not really throwing it. Whereas Gervonta was throwing both his arms, both shots from both arms. So it's like, that's just my opinion on it. I think Cruz, he didn't expect Cruz to be that good. Let's give credit to Cruz there. Let's not take away and say that one guy was hurt. And then when another guy has excuses like that, you don't believe him. But when it's your favorite fighter, you do, right? You just got to look at the eye test, right? Was he throwing it? Was he not? Was his other performances, how consistent was it? That's all you can go by, because, like, anyone can say whatever they want, right? You'll never know for sure, but the eye test and what you're seeing will kind of, it gives more, I feel like that's a better way to judge it than just a guy's word, oh yeah, I was hurt, right? If you could see that, physically see it, then in Shakur's case, right, he wasn't throwing it. But yeah, guys, I just want to talk about Terence Crawford. And this is, like I said, this is new, guys, too. He just sparred Shakur earlier in the week. Good work. And Jared Anderson popped by the gym, too. I guess was this the top ranked gym, I guess, maybe? Because, Jared Anderson's fighting next week. Probably the best upcoming American heavyweight that we have right now, to be honest. Because I feel like Wilder, after his Joseph Parker loss, he's maybe fallen off a bit. Maybe Jared Anderson will take the number one spot as the number one heavyweight. He has potential. He's pretty young still. And, so he stopped by too. I don't think they sparred, but that'd be kind of good if we seen them spar. Little light sparring between Shakur and Jared, or like Terence and Jared Anderson. That'd be kind of cool. But guys, two of the best fighters in the world. Let's wait until Shakur's next fight before we start judging him, right? Or it would be nice to see a rematch between Edwin, just so he can prove everyone wrong. That'd be nice too. But anyway, guys, Triple J Boxing. Thanks for watching. Take care.